There we are. Hey, Chidari! Hey, Bear! Here I am. Quite late, so sorry about that. But everything looks good, so I guess we can jump straight into business. Welcome to the tea party of the Unhuman. Oh, great. Wait, did I not click on it properly? Hello? There it is. Okay. That's a bunch of numbers, alright. Hey! Hey, hey. Scattered over the big bed were cute jelly beans of various colors. Oh no. And chocolate coins. You know you've read too much of this when innocent images like jelly beans and chocolate coins make you, like, brace for something. A fork was stuck into the shortcake peeking out of a gift box, and there were decanters with drinks of various colors lined up on the side table. Hey, Patchface Beat. But the venomous color of the drink poured into the glass matched none of the decanters. Oh, okay. Venomous color, alright. Some had probably been playing around, mixing them together. Someone, sorry. The taste aside, there was a lot of fun to do. Ah, I see. On top of the fluffy bed were several colorful big pillows stuffed with dreams. Stuffed with dreams. Ah, okay, hello. And on this big bed that looked like something out of a child's dream world. Okay. Burncastle lay face down, and Lambda Delta lay face up, hugging a pillow and relaxing.
今回はなかなかハラハラしたわね。ベアトがゲームやめるとか言い出して、かなり焦ったわ。
これだけのゲームを始めておいて、投げっぱなしで終えようとするなんて、失礼な魔女よね。
エンジェ、いい駒だったじゃない。とんずらしたベアトを引きずり戻してゲームを再開させてくれたわ。バトラーをやる気にさせすぎちゃったのはさすがに参ったけどね。
バトラーは情に弱いって分かってたから。
確かにあいつ敵であるベアトにも手加減しかねない雰囲気があったわね。
前回の流れから下手するとベアトに同情しておかしな方向にゲームを流すかもしれないって危惧してたの。エンジェはバトラがゴールを誤解した時に再誘導するための切り札よ。本当はもっとサポートさせてそれから切りたかったんだけどね。いきなり切らされたわ。仕込みに随分かかった駒なのにもったいなかった。
Hey, Zaku.
例の名乗っちゃダメルール枷にしておいてよかった。あれを設けなかったら兄弟タッグ大活躍でペアとはあっという間に飲み込まれてゲームエンドだったわ。
一気に畳みかけるチャンスかと思ったんだけど、あんたのマークがきつくてうまくいかせなかったわ。ああ、もったいない駒だった。
当然でしょ。あんなずるい駒とっととリタイアしてくれないと困るわ。まあ結果的にゲーム中断を阻止する活躍をしてくれたし、それは私にとっても助かることだった。互いの利害が一致する活躍をしてくれたという意味においては本当に素晴らしい駒だったわよ。
バトラと同じで単純な子だったから簡単に私の言いなりになってくれたわ。駒にするならバカか直情型よね。ああ、本当に惜しい駒だったわ。
その子も今じゃひき肉。 え、後で一緒にそれでハンバーグ作りましょうよ。あ、餃子の方が好きだっけ？
Do not, don't you dare ruin hamburgers and gyoza for me, please, for the love of
妹味っ
God.
てどんな味かしら？
No, no, no.
笑える。
あんた、そんな余裕でいいの？エンジェのおかげでバトラは奮起。ベアとを猛追し始め、今やだいぶ私が有利なゲーム展開だと思うけど。というかバトラ、今回でこれまでのほとんどの謎を解いちゃったんじゃない？
はあ？とんでもない。バトラの青き真実なんてほとんど外れてるわよ。ベアとのぬるい赤なんて隙間だらけだもの。
Oh no. Hey, Mikhail. No, please don't share Angel Burger art. No, I can't.
多少は知恵の回る子だったら、適当にへりくつ並べりゃ、簡単にすり抜けられるわ。ああ、本当にイライラしたわよ。私だったら、どれもこれも徹底的に赤で切り返してるわ。
あら、そうだったの？私はてっきり、あれらが正解だと思ってたわ。小型爆弾を飲み込ませてうんぬんは、さすがにどうかと思ったけど。
Everyone is... the small bombs. Okay. Everyone is getting tripped up in that. I don't know why. I guess because of it,
バトラの青
so...
き真実だって、全部が有効になってはいないわ。
Because of it being so ridiculous, I guess.
ベアとは第一のゲームにおいて、身元不明死体について、その身元を全て保証する。とはっきり明言している。これによりバトラの、エヴァ、秀吉の密室殺人の犯人は、偽装死体を演じた何者か。次に、ボイラー室のカノンは事故死だったろうとしてるけど。
Almost is not all. Yeah, I know. It's like everything is shrouded in this layer of word tricks. To some point I understand it, but past that point it gets so annoying.
自分の胸に杭が突き刺さっちゃう事故って何よ。ばっかじゃない？私が赤き宝刀とやらで切ってやるわよ。カノンは事故死ではない。その次の客までの源氏たち3人の殺人の時計回りに同時に射殺して死に合ったとかいう相打ち殺人も滑稽だわ。源氏、熊沢、南條は殺人者ではない。最後の夏日殺しのトラップ X もバカバカしいわ。夏日を射殺したのはトラップじゃなく、ちゃんと銃を構えて引き金を引いてしっかり射殺したのよ。ご愁傷様。
あんた、ダメよ。そんなこと赤で言っちゃ。あの子、夏日の銃弾を魔法で跳ね返して殺したってことにしてるんだから。
あらあら、いけない。そうだったわね。第2のゲームの青き真実だって甘すぎよ。礼拝堂での6人の殺害時、犯人は礼拝堂内にいたわ。あいつ、何でもかんでもトラップ X で説明しようとするわよね。トラップ X って何よ。変なミステリー小説のお約束？使用人室で南條と熊沢が殺された事件のカノンの名前を世襲したとかいうのも滑稽だわ。カノンの名を名乗ることができるのは本人のみ。異なる人間が名乗ることはできない。
But like that's not even his real name. So who is Canon? You know, we can philosophize Who is canon? What is canon? Why is canon? You know? We can go into rabbit holes for each and every single one of these things. He himself adopted that name because it's not his name. Canon is furniture. Aye.
夏日の部屋もローザからマスターキーを借りたという推理もダメダメ。ローザがマスターキーを管理して以降、それら全ては一度たりとも彼女の手を離れていない。夏日の部屋を開錠した時にバトラに貸し出した際を除いてね。まだまだ続くけど、ざっと軽く見てもこんな感じかしら。
軽くも何も、あんた第1と第2のゲームにおけるバトラの青き真実軒並み否定しちゃったじゃない。あらあら、なんてこと。バトラがそれを聞いたらそっとしちゃうわね。
I would like to believe that at this point in his character development, he wouldn't. He would just get more fired up and, you know, buckle up and just try to think of another thing that ties stuff together.
ね。
I want to believe that about Battler, please.
ベアとは全然追い詰められてなんかいないのよ。あの子、やっぱりなかなかの役者だわ。
I mean, it was quite obvious that she was still giving it away last time. Like, even after that whole scene of Battler getting her back into the mode or whatever, she still was giving it away. Otherwise, like, the novel would have ended there, but it couldn't possibly be that because it was like, I am on Battler's side, and I totally side with him, and I am 100% with him in his attempt to just come up with things that he could string into a, I don't know, what do I even call it, an argument that things could have been achieved by humans. But that doesn't mean that what he tried to string together has to be the actual thing that happened. It just needed to make sense, and some of them could have, let's say. Some of them were the small bombs, alright. But it was just, it didn't feel like that was that we were reaching into the meat and the substance of things. So yeah, that wasn't it. I could feel it. I'm still on Battler's side, 100%. But yeah, Bad Teacher was definitely giving it away, and for what reason? I don't know. I guess that's the big last mystery. I'll always believe in the small bomb. I mean, it was funny. It also gave me a lot of pause. And to be honest, I thought about it quite a lot after the stream. But not in the sense of like it being a meme or a joke. I just thought about it in the sense of like, wow, this is the extent to which you have to push your mind to come up with things that, like, you know, that are like thinking outside the box and not getting shoehorned into a certain, I don't know, pattern or a certain, you know, what do I even call it? Like, don't get cornered and boxed in by the red truth and try to like break out of it, right? So those are the extents to which my mind should go. Of course, that theory is no good, but that doesn't. That was not the point of it. The point of it was that you have to reach out to things like that and come up with them. And yeah, maybe I will not do that. And that's okay.
きっと今回のゲームでは一見追い詰められたふりをしてみせて。
It is the extent to which the author has to go to make Battler give an explanation without giving a correct one. I guess that works too. Right, she got cornered.
次のゲームあたりでバサーッと赤で一刀両断にしてバトラをびっくり仰天させる作戦でしょうよ。それできっとまた大笑いしながら言うんだわ。
She has done that in the past, to be fair, yeah. Gotta put small bombs in the food. I mean, there is some glimmer of something to maybe be followed in the direction of there being something in the food and drink, because there's just so much eating and drinking happening that at some point you have to wonder, did they all ingest something that's making them hallucinate or something? Because yeah, like maybe in the first episode, I mean, first episode, of course, because we don't see magic, and then when we still start seeing magic, there are still ways that would come to mind to try to explain it without it, but then things get so crazy, and in this episode we saw characters like being very convinced about what they're seeing that you're left to wonder, do I have to thread that into an explanation when I come up with it? Like the fact that they saw something happen, or they thought they saw, or they thought they felt something happening, but that wasn't actually it. And what could have possibly duped them? Because they're incredibly smart people, all of them. So if they were running at their full mental capacities, what could it have been to be this convincing? So then maybe it wasn't that convincing, but they thought it was, and maybe they were somehow incapacitated by something. I don't know, right? So that is something that has come out of the idea of like, oh, they ingested small bombs, without, you know, keeping in mind the whole meme and ridiculousness of it. Nano bombs. Kizo likes the spicy flavor, that's why he's always burnt. Oh, good one. Godatrice. Who knows? Battler managed to win an hour-long argument without pointing to possible human culprits even once. I mean, I guess. Does he have to? I thought the point was just to be able to explain that it could be achieved by human means, not necessarily to point at someone. Kinzo didn't have 10 tons of gold. Must be 10 tons of cocaine. Did I arrive too late to the burgers? We passed the burger. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
魔女はピンチになんかなりませんって。
The burger engine memes were born. Oh man.
じゃあ、あのベアとの追い詰められたみたいな悲壮感は全部演技なの？
そうに決まってるじゃない。あいつ本当に大女優よね。全然追い詰められてなんかいないのに、最終回顔負けのクライマックス感だったわ。今年の助演女優賞はあいつに決定ね。ああ、もちろん主演は私だけど、メルンでもいいわよ。
私を殺してみたいなことを言って最後に大きな謎を出したわよ。それを解かれたらベアとは今度こそおしまいの背水の陣じゃないの？
やだ、ベルンまで騙されてるの？あんなの背水の陣でもなんでもない。ベアとはね、まだまだどぎつい奥の手を温存してるわ。最後の謎を出すために両腕を突き出したとき、右腕だけ下ろしたの気づいてた？
ああ、そういえばあれはそういう意味だったわけ。
そういうわけ。あの子はまだまだ奥の手を残してる。
Oh god.
そして何も謎は解かれちゃいない。
Her right arm. That's the arm. Sorry, that's the hand in which she always holds that pipe of hers, right? I don't know.
それをまるで全て完歩されて次回最終回みたいなテンションにしちゃうなんて。つくづくあの子は演技の天才よ。ああ、早くバトラをどん底に叩き落とすところが見てやりたいわ。あの子、前回のゲームの北風と太陽作戦ですっかり味を占めちゃったんじゃない？バトラ、きっとまたベアトに同情してコロッと引っかかるわよ。女の涙は一粒で男を騙せるからね。 実に安上がりでお得よね。
Say so.
バトラ、またその手に引っかかっちゃうかしら。二度と同情しないように、私もバトラを焚きつけないと。当分はエンジェのひき肉で焚きつけられそうだけどね。
エンジェ味のハンバーグでパワーアップ。もちろんこっちも負けないわよ。ここからバトラと拮抗するくらいに盛り返せるようベアトを徹底的にサポートするもの。負けないわよベアトは。負けたら素敵な罰ゲームがあるわよってきっちり脅してるもん。
あんたの罰ゲーム、本気でシャレにならないから少し加減した方がいいわよ。
ベルンに次に罰ゲームをできるときはこうしようって決めてるのがあるの。
Are you just making puns, Zeku, or are you seriously enjoying them?
聞きたい聞きたい。
No, honestly, I don't.
嫌よ。
もう聞いてよ。あのねベルンを素敵なお城に閉じ込めてあげるの。そのお城は真っ白な純白の城壁に囲まれていて、一辺は 12km、 高さは 10m あるの。魔法とズルは禁止。とても飛び越せないわよね。
14億4000万竜兵。話のうちが読めたからもういいわよ。
そこをね、毎日一粒ずつの宝石で埋めていくの。それで城壁いっぱいに溜まるまでベルンを閉じ込めて、その宝石で埋め殺すの。素敵なロマンチックな罰ゲームでしょ。
一辺を5倍にしていいから高さを10分の1にしてくれたら今から閉じ込めてもいいわよ。
ほんと？36億竜兵になるわよ。罰ゲームが倍以上の期間になるわよ。そんなにも長い間虜になってくれるのね。ベルン大好き。愛してる。
Lambda Delta playfully clung to Burn Castle, who yawned, looking bored as she stroked Lambda Delta under the chin as though playing with a cat.
ベルンはバトラの勝利にかけてて、私は二人が永遠に引き分けになるのにかけてる。それで、誰かベアとの勝利にはかけてないの？
かけないわよ。勝率0だもん。
Interesting. She said that herself too.
奇跡の魔女に奇跡ゼロって言われるのも本当にお気の毒。私もかけないけどね。絶対。
絶対の魔女に絶対ダメって言われるのもお気の毒ね。
Unusually for them, they giggled
この
together.
ゲーム、どういう決着に終わるかしら。
Aww.
さすがにそれだけは読めないわ。だから楽しいわけだし。
もう逃げも中断も許さない。絶対にゲームを続けさせる。逃がさない。これからどんな風に展開していくのか想像もつかないけれど、絶対にありえない決着の仕方だけはわかるわ。
I'll bet on Beto losing. Oh, Zeku. Come on. Oh, so savage. These two are basically controlling everything like gods. I guess they're both powerful in their own right, and they both have personal interests at stake. So, yeah. But,
ベアトが勝って終わることだけはないわね。
だって、私もベルンも、どっちもベアトの勝利にかけてないんだもん。つまり、ベアトが勝ちそうになったら、私たち二大魔女を敵に回すことになる。
そういうことね。私たちの力が最も均衡するのは、引き分けとバトラ有利の中間で均衡している場合のみ。ベアト有利に傾きすぎれば、私たちは共に同じベクトルに団結して、ベアトを引きずり戻す。
つまり、ベアト優勢になった瞬間、私たち二人をまとめて敵に回すってことよ。ベルンと共闘、楽しい。
ありがとう。でも、コンペイトーのお風呂には一緒に入らないわよ。
コンペイトーのシャワーを浴びながら、とろけたマシュマロを塗りたくってあげるのに。
気の毒に、あの子は私と遊ぶためにラムダが捕まえてきた生きたおもちゃ、お人形だわ。
私、お人形遊びは上手なの。ほんと上手に遊べるのよ。飽きずに一つのおもちゃで何百年も遊べるのが自慢なの。
ある時は味方し、ある時は敵対し、永遠にもてあそび続ける。かわいそうにね。あの子はもう私たちのお人形。
そういうことよ。あの子は私たちのお人形。私たち二人の望む末路しか用意されてない。つまり、私によって永遠に引き分けが繰り返されるか、ベルンによってベアトが敗北して滅ぼされるか。で、ベアトが勝って終わるようなことは、
奇跡の魔女として宣言するわ。
なら私は、絶対の魔女として宣言するわ。ベアトは絶対に勝利できない。そして奇跡は、絶対に起こらない。
Okay. Pretty. Ay, ay, ay. I missed the joke. That was it. Umineko is over. Ay, ay, ay. When your Umineko is Naku and a little bit of Koro. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, hey, hey, sorry, we just finished the question mark section, I guess. Yeah. I missed everything. Well, yeah, the part of the novel that was on the table for today was this, so I didn't know how long it was gonna be. This was quite short. Yeah. Yeah, we'll read profiles, sure. Oh, talking about the characters. I can do that. Although I think I've expressed stuff already. But sure. Yeah. I don't know what to make of the relationship between the two of them. They're supposed to be arch enemies, but sometimes they don't act like it. And that's when things get very creepy and weird. I can fix her. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Why am I seeing this? Is it normal? I guess? I'm clicking and nothing's happening, so I guess we wait. Yeah, it's credits for the port, mods, whatever went into making this thing. I get it. The 43rd credits sequence. Yeah, I get it. But I don't think we've seen it before. That's why I think it's kind of throwing me off. But okay, we can sit through it. It's fine. I know, I'm clicking. I don't know what else I could do. Yeah, the music is cute, so at least there's that. It is hopeful indeed. Oh, that's so sweet. Suggesting that Lambda Delta and Bernard madly in love with each other will get you cancelled on Twitter. Well, I don't use Twitter. So that's fine. And even if I did, I wouldn't get into conversations about Umineko because even through the very small little glimpses. Oh, interesting. I was actually thinking if the main menu image would change, and it changed to this golden garden butterfly thing with the murky purple sky. Okay. But yeah, what I was saying, even if I did use social media more actively than I do, I would know better than to get myself involved into internet conversations about this novel, because even through the very little, I don't want to see this, small glimpses of the community that you've shown me in the Discord, I know better than to do that. I have no interest in incurring the wrath of random people on the internet who are way more attached to this than I am. Chapter 5 is your favorite along 6? Nice, okay. We will do that, but not... Oh god. Please, just... I don't want this to autoplay, okay? I just want to talk a little bit. Jesus Christ, okay. It took years to translate. I can only imagine. This thing is huge, so huge props to the people who did it as well. Umineko was translated at the same time with the release. Umineko project is just an edited version of the original translation. Yeah, I understand that. It like brings in a lot of things together with the translation. They are clearly not in love. They are just the very, very best of friends. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna heed my own advice and not get into that. Even here. It's fine. I just want to say, I guess, as a general thing, maybe it's also because I'm getting a little bit jaded after watching so many stories and things being rehashed, tropes, themes, character arcs, and so on. I am all for developing complex relationships between characters that are not necessarily romantic. They can be based on other things. And I find that cool and sometimes even more interesting than it actually being a romantic interest, right? Game board mates. Historians would say they were friends. I mean, they can be whatever they want to be. I'm not gonna pressure or label them into anything. It's not the best community, honestly. I feel like I have gotten to experience through you the best parts of it. You know, it's the dedication, is just the sheer amount of love that you have for the story and the interest, and also just the, I don't know, availability that you find in yourselves to come here and join me for these streams. Like that's amazing onto itself. Just that, just being like, oh, this person is experiencing the story. I want to experience it again alongside them, even though I already know what happens. That is amazing. That is cool. So I'm very blessed and grateful for you for doing that. And at the same time, I have seen the other side of the coin as well through, like I said, small glimpses of things that have been shared. And with that part, I'm fine. I don't need I don't need to engage. It's cool. I believe it took months for every chapter, which adds up to over a year at least. Alright. Yeah, better not to do that. Just don't get into online fights. They don't lead to anything other than wasted nerves and time. Click on characters. Okay, you're right. If I do go in here, probably it will not do the thing. Every community has annoying hardcore fans, to be fair. Yeah. As long as something is exposed and available to the entirety of, you know, humankind, it will amass and collect also some people from the part of humankind that is not incredibly pleasant. So it is what it is, you know. Every community has their bad sides, of course, because every community has humans in them. That's literally all it boils down to. Right, so... Poof. Alrighty. What do we do here? Do we... I forget how was it with the execute and resurrect and... Oh, Lord. Okay, I guess we go through them one by one, right? So... Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about it last time, I guess. I mentioned that was it last time? Am I confusing it? Oh, my memory's so bad. No, I think we were talking about it last time that I would take this kind of packaging in a heartbeat and pay money for it, so it's very cool. Yeah, we were talking about like everything, like it being so polished and the voice acting and blah blah blah, and we were in the very intense moment of Beatrice being impaled, I guess. And then we were talking about these things. Yeah, I remember now. Which aside Chester 556 is the most interesting character at the moment. Okay. Oh, alright. Oh gosh. Chester 556. A weapon of the Sisters' Cavalry which serves Pendragon. Although 556 was a quiet girl who was always being teased, she was loved by everybody. However, luck was not on her side, and she suffered a brutal death in a battle with the Black Witch. The Black Witch? She was a state-of-the-art weapon and added color to the Sisters' Cavalry, which had the strong flavor of an honor guard. Okay. 556 was in charge of squad fire support. She shot not to kill, but to protect her allies. Alright. Interesting. I can resurrect her. Oh, she's purple. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. A quiet girl who is always being teased by everyone, but that is because they all love her very much. The trumpet is her specialty. Everyone skips to her lovely tone. Oh, she was kind of a secret. Oh, alright. And what would you have to do to unlock that? Like, how would you figure that out? That sounds like it was very deeply buried. Alright. Did I miss anything here? Kill Battler and check Chester. Okay, I need to kill Battler. What? Battler is missing, bound for hell in the witch's embrace. But to the witch, that hell is the Golden Land. Oh my god. The moment they removed Beatrice's giant pink lips, the anti-magic toxin dissolved Project Gold. What? That's a thing. I'm just reading to make sure I didn't miss anything. In the original releases of episode 1, even the question mark section was a secret. Oh, wow. I don't want to know. I guess I will find out eventually if the novel explains. Right. I mean, I would have forgotten about it if you hadn't reminded me, so... Right, so by the way, we just go through all of them and we execute them and stuff like that. Okay, so discovered as a burnt corpse from the incinerator in the underground boiler room. There were no signs that he fought to get out of the incinerator, it seems. Okay, I think it is more or less what we have read before. It's all very familiar. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes, the dead to the dead. Okay! Right, so... I don't even know how to approach this. Nothing new, yeah. I don't hear it. I know there's supposed to be a sound. And I swear in the beginning when Chad pointed it out, I could hear it, but now that I don't know why, I don't catch it in between the other things. Okay. Right, I mean, if Bear suggests to talk about the characters, we can do a short round. I don't particularly want to go into too much depth, but I guess the biggest part that was Unnecessarily revered, but confirmed about Kinzo is that he be dead. So that throws me for a loop because I don't know what to do with all of the scenes that he's been in so far. The novel itself opens up with a scene of him. So what do I do with that? Let's talk about Gap, who's the best character. Gap. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess from the beginning of the novel until the end, I kept thinking of him like as being obviously a little deranged and obsessed and focused on his own stuff and quite disillusioned, I guess, with his family, and that being a very euphemistic way to say it. And I guess I was looking for small bits of information of what actually brought him there. But now that that's supposed to not be him, I really don't know what to do with myself. And that kind of extrapolates to all of the people that interacted with him. Servants, Kraus, Natsuhi, Nanjo. What, am I supposed now to suspect all of them of being in cahoots for his murder and for putting him in the incinerator to kind of hide it or whatever? I don't know. The brown tube was doing a lot of work. Yeah, I know, right? So that is the thing, actually, like just the overarching thing that becomes quite convoluted, difficult, and quite overwhelming for me is that which part do I discard and I assign, oh, it's just the brown tube thing? Or is there something meaningful out of that part that I should take? Or maybe even both. It is a brown tube thing, but it's kind of like hiding within it something that I'm supposed to take out and use. But yeah, I believe the scenes with Kinzo had an invited actor play his role before promptly removing himself from Rokkenjima and enjoying some cocktails on Hawaii. The sort that has some small umbrella in them, but it might be my biased lucky. Yeah, Zeku. Yeah. So I don't really know what to make of him. I don't. Right. I think, did we read this? Corpse discovered in the vicinity of the mansion's back entrance. Head was half destroyed, blah blah blah. Demon's stake rammed into the destroyed portion of his head. None can escape the Chester's golden arrows. Alright. Have you tried to execute Lambda or burn? Okay. I guess not. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Is it supposed to work? Ah, okay, you were just curious, alright. Yeah, Klaus, he was like really low in my list of family members that I felt anything for. Mostly because of how I felt like he treated Natsuhi in some moments, and for the moments of his superiority in front of his siblings for being the firstborn and supposed to inherit the head and so on. I felt like a certain air of arrogance there. There were some good moments of him though, also with Natsuhi, which it's a little bit paradoxical, but yeah. And with Jessica, I guess, and with Shannon, it really, I don't know why it really touched me there. And he did have some good moments in this episode. So I guess I've learned to see him with more love and not be so annoyed at him. But I don't necessarily feel too strongly about him either. He's the best family member. What do you mean? Oh, bunch. Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that still remains in my mind is like, was this in episode 1? It was when he showed Natsuhi the golden ingot and stuff, like, so he was onto something regarding the fortune and the gold or whatever, but I don't know how to explain it. It was episode 1, okay. Sometimes a few details kind of like get mixed in my mind because we've been doing this for a long time. I have to think, in which episode was that scene? Yeah. I don't know, if you have more specific questions about the characters you can ask, but I'll just say just brief things, otherwise we're gonna be here forever. And sorry, I right-clicked. Haha. I right-clicked by mistake. Right. With Natsuhi, I felt like a very strong connection in the first episode because there was just like so much of her, and after that we didn't get as much of her. So that was the moment where I kind of felt like I was discovering her a little bit. I did express a little bit of my not liking her strictness in certain situations, but at the same time I kind of understand it because it's kind of part of the duty that she believes she has to uphold, and it's valuable to her, so that's cool. I really, to this day, liked very, very much that scene between her and Kinzo in episode 1, but now that's all gone into the fucking dust and burnt into cinders, quite literally. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that, and I don't know what to make of the idea that she is in cahoots with the others about Kinzo already being dead. Yeah. Natsuhi is really sus. I mean, I don't know. I was quite touched by but then again, see, all of these weird things, and a lot of them related to the magic, are imbued with these moments of emotional weight. Moments when I feel like I get to connect to something about these characters, and then I'm supposed to either discard that or just completely rip it off, rip the significance off of it and turn it onto his head and make it something nasty or evil into it. I don't like it. I guess on a sort of meta level, it's how like the same thing that Bern and Lambda were discussing earlier about emotions being the weak point. And I take great offense to that. I don't think emotions are a weakness. There's just so many stories and so many, I guess, life occurrences that try to tell you that, and I really, really don't believe it. I think it's one of the most... To be in tune with your emotions and to respect the value of it is one of the strongest things someone can do in life. I firmly believe that, right? So when these moments happen, it really tugs at my heart. I remember that moment with the charm that Jessica gave her, and she put it on the door, and it was all made to seem like, okay, the charm protected her from death. It was so cool. And now, again, I don't know what to make of it. When we cry, Rikishi laughs, I guess. Natsuhi the goat in the episode. She was so cool. Understand the characters are very important. I won't discard any of them. Aww. Even if Kinzo wasn't real in that scene, you can understand Natsuhi's mindset. Yeah, I do. When Rikishi laughs, none shall be left alive. The charm work. Yeah, it was so cute. It was so cute. See, so my memory is super bad with a lot of details. I think this is also one of my biggest struggles in this and putting together the mystery, because I forget details over time. And for me to not do that, I would have to thoroughly do my homework and go back over the entire thing, take notes, go over the notes over and over again so I don't forget them or whatever. Because when things don't seem to be connected and they feel like they're kind of like floating in thin air, not immediately fitting in with anything else, it's easy for my mind to just not remember them. But when I connect to something, I remember with like a razor sharp accuracy. Like I remember this thing with the charm. I don't know how important it is. Maybe it has absolutely zero importance. But I remember it because I thought it was cute. And now it's breaking my heart. Not that his dress kick ass, so sick. Yeah, it's really cool. I like the layers to it and the asymmetry. It's very nice. Rikishi seems to have a preference on beautiful dresses than suits. I guess it just has like a lot more details for the ladies, which makes sense. I feel like the suits for the guys are also quite distinguished. And they're not as embellished and with as many with as much layering to it them happening, but they have like cool details. I personally think Battler's suit is absolutely badass. Like, look at him. Right? And the cool little details of the eagle and these buttons here, whatever they are, and the cross, and there's an undervest happening, but it's just a hint of it, and it's purple against the red and black, and the suit is like beige cream kind of. It's so good. It's so slick. I love it. Battler best looking boy. Yeah. Not complaining about those dress looks magnificent. Yes, it's really cool. So incredible to see when people do a good battle cosplay IRL. Yeah. As someone who has sewn things much simpler than that and discovered just how difficult it actually is, to see that brought to life, it's crazy. Canon is the most creative of the suits. I guess so. I guess it's cool. It has like a young boyish kind of vibe too. It's not as mature as the others, like, yeah. It's the same color of suits? I think it's not, because Kinzo's is pure white and Battler's is more cream beige. But that's how I see it. They are light colored though. They are both light colored. Yep. Canon looks like a medieval jester. Aww. I don't think so. Curious is interesting too. Yeah, she's cool. Rikishi was inspired with Curious design. Yeah, I liked her quite a bit. She's not in a dress, but it's still very feminine. Yeah. No, that's okay, my broom. Yeah, okay, so that was Natsuhi. Jessica. She is so cute. She is so cool. And I love about her that she's trying really hard to uphold all of these values and duties that the family is kind of passing on to her. But at the same time, she's trying to kind of like find her own way and like kind of break through them. And you can see that in her language, in her demeanor, and her mom constantly, or like the others around her constantly telling her that she's not ladylike enough or Ushomiya enough, but when she's left alone, like this is her natural state, and it's so cool because she struggles with it, but she's still, in the depth of her heart, she knows who she is, and she can't help but allow that to seep through. I appreciate it. It's very fresh about her. Jessica and George fighting Ronoa and Gap was crazy. Yeah, don't remind me. My heart is still breaking inside me. Jessica just went to the family conference school uniform, but we love Jessica anyways. I mean, I think it's not that uncommon for Japanese people to wear their school uniforms to other things that's supposed to be, I don't know, more formal, more serious, or whatever. I didn't particularly think much of that. One thing that I was wondering in the beginning, but this was in the very beginning, and then I kind of let it go because it was too on the nose and ridiculous and nothing connected. It's just like, I think it was prompted by that scene with Maria having seen Beatrice and everyone being, oh, who could have passed by as Beatrice in front of Maria and given her the letter and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, physically speaking, Jessica is the one who looks the most as Beatrice. Because she has blonde hair and blue eyes and fringe and whatever. That was like a stupid thought. I don't think there's been anything else to support anything in that direction in the novel so far, or maybe I didn't catch it. But I really like Jessica. Generally, I do like the kids. They're the closest to my heart from the characters. Kraus is blonde too. Yeah. I have never interpreted Jessica and Kraus to actually be blonde, as no one ever mentions it and they're Japanese. Yeah, I guess you can say that too. Is the color of their hair or eyes that we see in the sprites actually their color, or we're supposed to imagine that underneath that they all have dark hair and dark eyes? I don't know. Same hair color, same eyes, just needs a big dress. Yeah, it's so fun. I loved her relationship with Kanon. That was it had so many sweet moments, and I will never forget the conversation with the ducks. Okay. It was cute. It's cute. I see that we have Beatrice here next in line. We get to see her dress in its full shape. It's so sad that in the novel, as sprites, you don't get to see the bottom part, because that's where most of the details are. I guess we get to see it a little bit in CGs and something. We need to know what Kinzo's wife looks like for these genetics. I mean, look at all of these, like. And also, how does it happen, if we're talking about genetics, how does it happen that from Rudolph and Kyrie we get redheads? Like, let's just say like NJ, okay? Battler, I don't know what to make of that. That's something else. Yeah, can you do this? Oh, you can execute Beatrice. It is futile for a human like yourself to dream of killing me. Oh, interesting. Even if you fire bullets at me, they will merely bounce back as though by a mirror and strike you down. However, there is one single way to kill me. You grasp this method in the palm of your hand. I doubt a mediocre fool like you could ever do it, of course. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a mediocre fool. It's alright. We can move on. Yeah. When I first saw Maria, I thought she was too well dressed for a kid. Then it was revealed that Rosa works on tailoring and everything made sense. Yeah, of course. It was also noted by our Bea in chat that Rosa has like a big eagle and a small eagle on her, whatever this thing that's hanging from her collar is. I forget what it's called. Which maybe this is a symbol for Maria. Which is a really cute detail, I guess. In spite of everything. Ah, okay. Okay, if that's what it's called. It's a bit weird, because that's the word, the French word, and also the one that we borrowed in Romanian for actually tie, cravat. But okay. I guess that can also be a sort of tie. Who else has it? Natsuhi has it, yeah? Yeah, she does. Right. Yeah, okay, we were at Beatrice. What can I say about her? I've expressed things already quite lengthily so far. In light of what happened last time, and in light of the whole, it's a trick again, we're gonna fall for the emotions again, or are we not? I don't know what to believe. Like I said, I'm more on the cautious side. But I did feel a lot of pain last time because I don't have any sort of inkling of oh wait, was there something more here? Ah, it was some cackling. I don't have any sort of inkling of pleasure or satisfaction being derived from seeing her suffer, and particularly the voice acting was just heartbreaking. So I am open to the idea that there is something deeper there, that there's a backstory, that the little drips that we've seen so far, particularly in episode 3, there is a truth to them, there is something there to be uncovered and to finally solve this last mystery. And maybe all of this obnoxious, evil, cackling witch thing is just a facade to hide pain and a lot of something else beneath it. My heart and mind are open to that, but what I feel at this moment is that if I'm supposed to take the things we've been given and concoct a story of what it might be, I don't really want to do it. I would want to have that revealed to me in due time if that's what's supposed to happen, instead of me trying to invent things. That's what I feel right now. Beto's dress goes too hard. Golden wing plus dark red and black. It can get better than this. Rikishi woke up that day inspired. It's a cool dress. When Badashi was talking about having fun with Butler and with episode 3 hit. The bad trick, it needs a lot of love. Aw. Yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll see. Yeah. Eva. What can I say about Eva? Yeah, I think this is... we've already read it. Oh, sorry. You like her skirt outfit more than her dress one. God, I right-clicked again. So sorry about that. It's more... like... I get a younger vibe from that one. Like, more... teenagey than this one, which is quite, I guess, refined, elegant stuff. They're both cool, though, from a design perspective. Eva's dress reminds me of Chinese dresses. It's a nice touch. Yeah, it does have that element. And again, she's like she has pants underneath, but it's quite feminine. And she has a tattoo of the eagle, which is also quite cool, I guess. It's not just an element of her the fabric. Yeah, Eva is very, very hard for me to handle because of her personality, which is quite at odds with mine, and I've expressed my displeasure from the beginning. What I thought was very cool, though, was her relationship with her family, because it's clear that she really cares about them, and even though she is how she is, she managed to score Hideyoshi, who has a cool, soft side to him, but it's still very... he emanates a lot of manly energy at the same time, and he is able to balance Eva out a lot. And there were like very, very cool moments between the two of them. One of which is the one in episode 3 where I was, again, confused. What do I make of this moment? Because we were shown that moment, but then we were supposed to concoct a theory, and things eventually led to concocting a theory where Eva was never there for that moment, and she was out murdering people, and Hideyoshi was just covering for her. Which, again, breaks me, because I connect to that, and then it's taken away from me. I should get the Umineko themed tattoo, would be fun. Alright. Tattoos are fun. Make sure it's something that you truly connect with, and There you are. I put an Eva Beatrice Life compilation to help me fall asleep. What? Jesus Christ. Yeah, so they have these really cool moments as a couple. So I don't know what to make of them being real or not. But I connected with them, and particularly with Hideyoshi's care for her. It was so sweet. And even in her relationship with George, she is leading a little bit into a tyrannical kind of mother that kind of dictates things, but you can also see a little bit underneath the surface that it comes from a place of care for her son, who again is so cool. He was so badass in his fight with Gap. Like, huge props to George. Even if it was real or not, I believe this was how they would act naturally. Yes, that is also a good point. That I was also wondering that what am I supposed to take from these things? Because if they're the brown tube thing that is not actually the real thing, is just like a story thrown at us, do I take at least the nature of the characters out of it as being faithful and true? I guess so, right? I choose everyone else's life starting with yours. Yeah. He was so cool. It was so cool. Huge props to him. And his dedication to Shannon is just awe-inspiring. It's so important to him. I don't know, there was some suggestions in the beginning, I think when we were in episode 1, that people didn't like the relationship, or that he might have been a bit forceful in terms of, yeah, he is in a position where he could give her orders, but I don't think he ever said it in that way. Looking back at that moment through the hindsight of the following episodes and just how important this is to him, I don't think it came from that direction. I think he was just trying, as I also interpreted in the moment, to be honest, he was just trying to kind of snap Shannon out of her mode of like servitude and just open up her eyes and be like, we are equals and you are a strong, independent individual who can make decisions for herself. I feel like that's more the place where it was coming from. And he's so protective of it and so important to him. He's like, I'm ready to take on the world. I'm ready to make enemies of my entire family, including my parents, with whom he obviously has a very deep bond, but he's willing to forsake that for his love. That's so cool. Georgie. Yeah. It really is the 80s. It's not so much about him using force or commanding her, it's about general large disbalance in terms of power dynamics of their relationship. I understand it, but I don't know. I didn't really feel it in terms of it having negative connotations. I don't know. This is how I feel, I guess. About Hideyoshi, I already spoke. I really like his soft side and the way he interacts with his family. He definitely has his savage beast side when it comes to business and the inheritance and all of that jazz. He has that too. Obviously, if he didn't, he wouldn't mesh well as a partner for Eva. She is an employee, yeah, she is. But I didn't feel like he treated her like an employee. Oh, thank you for the BTs, that's so sweet. Yeah, the age thing was only made, pointed out to me by chat, because I didn't feel like the novel cleared that up much. But okay. Okay, Rudolph. I guess we read these. There isn't anything new about it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just talking from the perspective of how I perceived their moments as they were portrayed so far. The Georgie EDP memes were born. Okay. Alright. Yeah, see, I don't know. Let's not have him with the hole in his head, though. Yeah, there's definitely something buried under the surface there with Rudolph and his family. There's stuff there to uncover for sure. I don't know what to make of the whole thing with Battler, to be fair. It was so focused on the period of time that he was away and something that happened 6 years in the past, but you can say that the hints have been there all along and they've been slapping me in the face and I didn't want to see them. Fair point if they were. I don't know how to connect those yet. And I think one of the things that's kind of like keeping me a little bit on edge, or like not allowing me to go too much into this, is just that it all feels like this cheap soap opera kind of plot of like, he's my son, oh actually you're not my son, or your mom is not your mom, or this person is not who they say to be, or I don't know, all of these things that, you know, you live your whole life thinking something and then it's not that, or stuff along those lines just kind of fall into that kind of category of plots that, or plot twists, that I guess I was overly saturated with in my early years of life, because I watched a lot of those, and now I'm kind of averse to going down that path, I guess. Rudolph needs to stop dying. Not after Rosa, because holy Rosa got killed. If it, oh yeah, okay. Let's not remember that. Okay, yeah, right. I still remember so clearly when Rudolph said it was episode 1 that, oh, I think I'm gonna die tonight. So there is something there. It's hard for me to put it together right now. Again, his personality, not something that I necessarily mesh well with, but there were so many cool moments between him and Kyrie that I couldn't not just like bawl over it. I still remember that moment with him on the phone. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just a thing, a drop in the ocean of the whole novel. I don't remember details that probably were very important to putting the plot together, but I do remember the bloody phone call where he prioritized Kyrie above anything else in his business and stuff, and it was so cool. Rudolph is really the 80s character, I guess. Yeah. So that's that. I am still a little bit put off and just kind of like, about him going with these women, so many women, and getting them impregnated and things like, come on, I know it's the 80s, but I'm sure condoms exist, you know, and getting into this situation, at least the way it was portrayed, that, oh, he had to choose Asumu over Kyrie and stuff, and then after her death came back to Kyrie and stuff. It was just such a mess of a situation. Yeah, I guess even the premise of it's a soap opera kind of thing. With like, oh, I love this woman now, but wait, you got pregnant, now I have to marry you, I have to forsake my actual true love, but then wait, my actual true love is also pregnant, so what are we doing with these children? I even went at some point, when I was thinking about this, in light of all of these things being established, that people we thought were alive were actually dead, and oh sorry, and stuff like buddy doubles or people pretending to be other people or whatever, which I still don't know if it's like a mechanic that I'm supposed to take into account for solving the mystery, that someone could reliably pretend to be someone else and have it be believable, you know, like I was saying last time. Is it a Mission Impossible kind of thing here? I don't know. But so at some point in light of this, I started questioning everything, and I was even wondering at some point, wait, what if Kirie's child didn't actually die? But then I realized that I don't remember all of the details of her explaining that. So I would have had to go back and check, and I didn't really have the time. And I was like, it's fine. Maybe it's just too much. Let's cut it there. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I do think Rudolph's relationship with Kirie is very cool. In my book, it even tops the tender, sweet moments between Eva and Hideyoshi. I think Kirie is a very, very smart woman. Incredibly smart. And I love her and Battler kind of like feeding off each other in moments where they manage to have conversations about things. It's just an amazing thing to behold. And it humbles me because I don't think I could have those kinds of conversations with someone. That's very nice. The fight against Vevachi was pretty good. Nanjo, at least, is probably too wide to be able to pretend to be someone else. Yeah, Nanjo is the giver of bear hugs, okay? That's what he is. Yeah. Battler. I did it again because I was curious. I didn't catch all the details. Like, he's just like splattered in blood. Okay. Oh well. I love Battler. Battler is my heart and soul. Battler is my proxy into the game. I completely, like, identify with him. I feel like we're one-track mind. I love him. I don't necessarily know if I want to see him win, but I want to see him be confident in himself and hold his ground no matter what. Even with small bombs, okay? Even with small bombs. Whatever. As long as he's confident, as long as he's not giving up, as long as he doesn't become, again, you know, furniture subdued to Beatrice. I want to see him have that kind of inner strength. It's a bit sad that, you know, the whole thing with Enja had to happen for him to get there because it was so painful. But I liked the battler that we saw last time, and I want to see more of that, or even more development for him. He's cool. I have never seen the name Battle. Yeah, it's such a weird name. But it makes sense, because he's battling. He's battling his way through this whole novel. Bless his heart. Rudolph's appearance was based on Clint Eastwood. Ah, I see it now, now that you mention it. That's very cool. He's literally the best character within 100%. Yes, yes. Hey, Tostators, no worries. There isn't much happening tonight. We read the question mark section and we're talking about characters, and we're just gonna keep having a chat and that will be it. The kanji in his name literally mean fight person. Yeah, I think Bea shared the kanji meanings. It's so cool. Yeah, I know this is the kanji for person. This is a very simple kanji that even I can recognize. Battler is it is apt given his role in the novel, but it's a weird name because who is called Battler in real life? Nanjo is so far I noted a lot on his moments where he's sweet and softy and just cute and cuddly and, you know, bear hug giver kind of person. The only thing that I don't know how this fits into is that he is supposed to be Kinzo's best friend, and Kinzo's dead. So what's happening with that? Yeah, he's in that same bowl with all of the servants and Kraus and Natsuki and everyone. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? I don't know. It's so hard to think ill things of him. Because he has so many tender moments. When I was reading chapter 4, I was a little let down because Jessica and Georgie got cool fights, but Bato didn't. That was until the end, when that day I realized Rikishi is Jordan the way he never misses. Yeah, it was definitely clear that they were saving something else for Battler. Yeah. Not a very good author if you can tell his patience is deceased, honestly. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And he also had so many good moments where it seemed that he was kind of the voice of consciousness that Kinzo had forgotten, and he was able to temper him and reason with him, and reach inside him, within him, in a way nobody else could. And now what do I do with that? It's a lie. Watching Nezu changing her legal name to Battler to finishing Umineko. No, it's fine. Rosa, we talked so much about her when the whole thing with Maria was happening, and about Maria as well. I don't know if I actually don't want to rehash it because it was so much. Bottom line, I empathize with a lot of her struggles as a single mother and a woman and the youngest child and all of that and all the trauma that she has had to endure. But, you know, just going ahead and then re-inflicting this trauma onto her child is not the way to go about it. And so this whole thing has me incredibly torn. Particularly also when she gets moments when she's, like, super protective of Maria. Like the episode, and that was end of episode 2? It was end of episode 2, right? Yes. Where that happened. It was like the 11th hour, but okay. It's just, in the grand scheme of things, it's just a drop in the ocean of abuse and trauma that she's inflicting on her child, and it doesn't sit well with me, and it hurts. It hurts. I can see the humanity in her. I can, but it's not a justification, so. After the many times Nezu was talking, the next VN dialogue was her exact words. I'm pretty much on the Shuramiya. I'm a battler. Legend has it that this stream is 50% story, 50% discussing Rosa. It's kind of like that. It felt like that. Wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am, I guess. Rosa. And Maria. I understand a lot more after this episode, and my heart just breaks. I wish I could give her hugs. I wish she could just have her Sakutaro forever, and be happy and smiley, and have her pure white heart, and just enjoy her childhood and her life, because she deserves it. She's so sweet. I'm so sad for her. Putting it into perspective and understanding her behavior and what lies underneath her little witch-like outburst moments, and her ooze, of course, it's just With the Kinzo reveal, how much does that change the perspective of everything so far? It makes me question everything, and I'm at a point where I don't know what I could latch onto. Right? Because everything could just be a lie and smoke and mirrors and unreliable, or it could just be a front for something deeper that I'm actually supposed to pick out of it. And so, I don't know. Maria was surprisingly one of the most fleshed out characters. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the children are definitely more fleshed out than the adults, generally speaking. But yeah, there was a lot of her here. And definitely a lot more of her background than for the others. Yeah, that's also true. About children being that way. It's because Vibarium said she still thinks she was annoying in episode 1. Yeah, I mentioned this as well. I can empathize with the people when she obsessively repeats her catchphrases and like the volume level rises. After a while, just being exposed to it, you kind of get tired of it. I totally empathize because I'm a person who gets what's the word? I get sensory overload a lot from sounds. So I get it. I can understand that. I didn't think it was necessarily like it's okay to not like it, and at the same time it's not necessarily fair to pin it on her being obnoxious because she's a child. She's gonna be obnoxious, right? I God knows I know because I open my windows in the evening. There's a bunch of children always playing in front of the building, and they have the loudest, most obnoxious toys, and they just keep playing with them, and they keep making these sounds over and over and over again. And when they're playing, they're screaming as if they're about to be murdered or something. And then I have to remind myself, they're just children. What can you do? And then I just close the window and I put on some music and okay, I'm letting that go. So I can empathize with it to a certain point, but yeah. Maria is definitely something to protect. I love her pure heart. And yeah, I wish it wasn't so broken and destroyed. The most annoying was definitely Eva Teacher. Her voice acting was masterful. Oh yeah. That is definitely above anything else in terms of annoying. Yeah. Yeah, so here at the bottom we have the servants, I guess. Genji. I never could really feel much about Genji. He's like a flat wall. He always speaks with the same cadence. I don't think I ever had a moment of like any sort of emotional connect to him like I did with the others. He is just, I don't know, just a fully embodied mystery. The way Rosa's voice actor was going off, you'd think she was getting constant raises. What? You mean in terms of Rosa getting into the, I guess, high pitch, crazy woman unhinged? Genji is definitely one of the characters, obviously. Yeah, no, I don't know what to think of him. I feel like I couldn't connect with him on a personal level on anything. He's just the most dedicated furniture. Willing to die for his master who's already dead. Yeah. Yeah, Genji died first in episodes 3 and 4. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to make of the servants as a whole, given the situation. Particularly the 3 servants that are supposed to be closest, the one with the eagle. They're supposed to be closest to Kinzo. So, I don't know. Genji is just, yeah, blank. I don't know. But, Shannon and Kanon, I did develop a certain connection to both of them. I think they're super sweet in their own way, and I've commented on that. Kanon was my very early favorite character. He hasn't stopped being that. I just have developed a lot of love for Battler in the meantime as well. But I still think he's super cool. He was also super cool in some moments with Jessica. And just his way of going down fighting so many times has reached me in a certain place of my heart that apparently has a soft spot for that, and so I really like him. And Shannon is super sweet. Her dress is amazing. She also has a tattoo of an eagle now. I remember that I look at it. cute. And like I mentioned before, I love her relationship with George and the way they care about each other. Wait. Automot held your message for misogyny. Yeah, yeah. Hell, let's allow this. Right, so yeah, I was saying, from crazy woman to tender mother crying to her child, to serious mom in crime scenes, to torture to and cannibalism. Sheer wild. Yeah, that is true. Rosa has been through a lot. Yeah, now that you put it into perspective like that, for the actress, it must have been woof. Yeah. For God, I mentioned in the beginning that I didn't really like him, with particularly in episode 1, how he was like putting everything on the shoulders of the others and like trying to paint himself in such a good light when he was actually like not doing his duties and stuff. But then we discovered his joy of bringing people happiness through his food. And that was cute. I guess I connected to him on that. And he had some really good moments in the fights later on. So we got to see that. Maid equals best girl, I don't make the rules. From the servants canon in Kumasawa, I have a soft spot. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, so there are cool things about him as well. But in light of the comment I made earlier of now questioning whether there was something in the food, him being in charge with the food, and also Shannon being in charge with the tea as well, kind of doesn't paint her in a very great light. I don't know about that. It's just an abstract thought. I didn't really put it together with like a coherent theory and stuff. Got a small bomb engineer. That I don't think he is. But yeah. Goda, the legend, the myth, the man who put small bombs in the food. And thus Goda teacher was born. At least we get a good meme out of it. For Kumasawa, like, she kind of, I guess, passes along on this, like, old lady who's been there for forever, and everyone regards, like, as some sort of grandma kind of figure and stuff. And then you have Virgilia coming out of her, and that's completely, like, glossed over later on. And even in episode 4, they're kind of portrayed like separate entities somehow. But then I don't know what I'm supposed to make of that. Is that something that I'm supposed to take into account and have it like, shine a spotlight on her for maybe something that she's involved into? I don't know. Kumasawa's best scene was when she was musing about Natsuhi in chapter 1. Hasn't really been great since. The mackerel enthusiast. I don't remember the scene now that you mention it. It doesn't come immediately to me, Chidorin. Leah, best girl. If I were Kumasawa, I'd be secretly sleeping in the guest rooms too. Kumasawa also knew about the other mansion in Beato. Yeah, I guess, because she's old enough to know. But I don't think she should be the only one. I mean, Genji should be informed about that too, right? Didn't the boat guy say that when he was making deliveries, he talked to him about there not being a need anymore to deliver stuff to the back of the island? Or am I confusing things? Sign. Oh god, no, please, let's not go back to the sign. Okay. Yeah, the boat guy said that about the older servants going in and out. Yeah, well, when you say older servants, I think of Genji and Kumasawa, because they're the oldest ones, no? Goda is very new, and Shannon and Kanon are kind of kids, so. He said that. Okay, yeah, thanks for confirming. Like I said, things are just getting mixed up in my head. Yeah, so these were the characters. I guess we have witches' sides. I don't really know if I want to go through these here. I think we could talk about Enji a little bit maybe, but I don't want to insist too much. I really loved her. I expressed that a lot. Sorry, again, right click. Damn it. She embodied a lot of things that I vibe with this episode, and just her story is quite tragic, I guess. I really loved Amakusa. Yeah. I love them. And Kawabata, yes. He had a cool moment with them as well. Enjabe's character in True MC. Yeah. I wish we could see more of her, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know what to make of the fact that she died in 1998. Am I supposed to just imagine that things that supposedly happened in this episode were like, am I supposed to think that she died when she wanted to commit suicide and things were just like, I don't know, stuff flashing in her mind before death? Or did she actually die on the island when she came to it? Which part of it contributed to her death? I'm not sure. Let's talk about goats. No, it's fine. Enja's story was slower in the former half. I wanted to go back to 1986. I wanted to know more about Enja, actually. I felt like there were a lot of details about certain things, but I would have wanted even more, to be honest. I would have wanted even more of her. I liked her so much. Yeah. What does this change? It's like, her uniform. Okay, got it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is enough commenting on characters, unless you want me to comment on something in particular. Even the goats have some writing put into them. Big brother goat will never come home to his little goat sister. Yeah, they did have that, at least. I'll give that to them. Yeah. Amakusa's fit seems something you'd see nowadays. Yeah, it's very modern. Yes, we looked at it. And we resurrected her. And we noticed that she's very cute. And purple. Yep. Is there something? I saw the tips here. Am I supposed to look at something in the tips? It's just all of the things collected, right? Yeah. Yeah, alright. Those summoning circles are cool looking? Yeah, I am. Peanuts. Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like I've exhausted my talking points. Those episode 4 tips are pretty informative, I found. Anything in particular? I guess that's it? Okay. Omake is needed to earn or question arc trophy. I don't really care about the trophy, it's okay. Yeah, I feel like some of them I already read. The system check. I might take the time to reread them before we move on to the next chapter, episode, whatever you call it. Yeah, that's alright. Hey. Anything else to check in game? Anything else that you want to look at before I close it? The sound of the wind will forever be creepy to me. Now? You want me to read everything now? Close it. No, we're not doing that tonight. Umineko speedrun. Oh my god. I hold control the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of these reels were read already, so it would just be rehashing of things. Oh my gosh, okay, fine. We read, but only 4. We're not doing all of them. Maria Sorcier, I think I've read this. A witches' alliance formed by Lady Maria, the Witch of Origins, and Lady Beatrice, the Endless Witch. The two of them created a groundbreaking new system of magic, thereby granting Beatrice, whose magical power had begun to decline, immense new magical power. You could probably say that it was through the formation of this alliance that Beatrice gained the endless power in the true sense. Article 1 requires members to accept each other as witches and respect each other's magic. At one point, young Enja was invited into the alliance, but she was later excommunicated. Reading in my VN. Okay, system of magic. A foundation upon which to create magic. In particular, it refers to a system by whose shared usage magic power can be gained without conscious effort. You could say that writing down their own system of magic and leaving it to future generations is one of a witch's life works. However, systems of terrific magical power are correspondingly difficult to comprehend, and shared usage of them is troublesome. As a result, none will appear to bear the burden. If a system's magical power is simple, there will likely be no difficulties sharing it, but as a result, the system will be reduced to having no greater effect than a simple good luck charm, and will ultimately be forgotten. Oh wow. Leaving a system of magic for later generations while simultaneously maintaining that balance is the true joy of witchcraft. The grimoire, in short, the grimoire is that into which a system of magic is written down and transmitted to later generations. The most famous grimoire in the world today has a 2,000-year history, is still in circulation, and is said to be continuing to acquire new alliance members even now. It is forbidden to speak the true name of that grimoire, and it is called simply the book. Okay, Beatrice's titles. As a witch, Beatrice holds the 2 titles of Endless and Golden. Because these are originally titles from separate systems of magic, it can be said that she possesses 2 systems. The Endless Witch has its foundation in endless creation and is the root of her unmatched endless magical power. The Golden Witch has its foundation in magic realization, and her magical power to make the precious metals of fantasy manifest in reality gives the miracle of manifestation to all faint forms of magic. The 2 of these were polished even further through Mariage Sorcière, elevating them to a system of magic called Endless Realization. And it was kind of like a now kiss moment. In that sense, she should not be called neither the Endless nor the Golden Witch, but by a new title that is a fusion of the 2. Witches. The definition of a witch is vague, but the most accepted theory is that one is a witch at the point when they gain a power surpassing humans and are able to use it freely. And the world, or possibly fragment, in which that can be freely used is called their territory. Interesting, the use of fragment, I guess. Most witches cannot leave their territory, but those who are capable of transcending its boundary at will and wandering the fragments are called voyagers. In the story, Burn Castle and Lambda Delta fall under this type. Okay, voyagers. Worlds of different fates and circumstances are called fragments, and witches who are able to cross the ocean of endless fragments are called voyagers. It is also another name for a high-order, high-level witch, and witches who are unable to leave their territories cannot compare with their power. However, perhaps because they do not have specific territories, their personal values are unstable, and it is easy for their souls to become faint. As a result, it is not rare for voyagers to disappear like scraps of seaweed in the ocean of fragments. Oh, wow. And the creators. Creators are sacred beings who can create one out of the sea of nothingness. They can give birth to one from zero, give birth to the endless, and then return it to zero again in a flash. They are freed from all restrictions, and the voyagers sometimes even call them gods. In that sense, perhaps the Witch of Origins, Maria, who is promised to become a creator, may be called a chosen one. Voyagers fear that the end of their own journey is to become a creator. As to why they would be frightened of evolving into a higher order being, none can understand except they themselves. The journey is to become a creator. Interesting, okay. Yeah, and I think these were like the tips during the story that I did read some of them. Maybe some I skipped, but I think out of the context of where they are used, they're not that interesting. It's not too late. No, I was going to ask. It is all right. I was moving towards that, so. Okie dokie. Let's close the game. Alright, and here. Ba-da-ba-bum. Okay, so how do we do this? I just call you, I guess? Pancho, how do you prefer? Big Nezu? That's fine? Okay. Let's see. I would hope this works.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Can everyone hear?
Can the stream hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The Umineko podcast. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a million things to say. There's a million things I shouldn't say, or Beatrice will kill me. But basically, I just wanted to give a little bit more perspective on what is expected or what is reasonable to expect, because this obviously, as you know, was released episodically originally. So episode 1 came out, and then later in the year, episode 2 came out, and then later, and that gave people a lot of time to read, reread, talk about, discuss a million times over. And so everyone was pretty, they had a pretty good idea of what had happened, because they had revisited a million times. And the further episodes, like starting from 5 and 6 and all of those, kept that in mind in terms of how the reveals are done and how they reference the previous things. But basically, there's obviously a lot of questions and a lot of stuff to figure out and think about, but not everything is really that important at the end of the day. Of course, it's a personal thing. Some people don't care about most things, and they like to see the cool magic scenes. Other people hate that.
Whoops.
And only like the red truth, figure out everything, mystery, and all of that. I would say that if you were to really care about solving like every single like Twilight thing, what happened here, what happened then, you would have to revisit the actual text. Probably not necessarily reread everything, but at least go look up the actual text. Like online, there are some resources with it, but I don't think you're going to do that. You don't necessarily. I don't think you necessarily should do that. It takes some time, it takes some investment, and you've said before, you come into the stream to kind of relax and take, and spend some quality time with a cool, fun story. So I don't know if that's a very realistic expectation to, revisit the actual murders and such specifically. But the overall sort of mysteries in those beats, like what is going on fundamentally. For example, the fact that Kinzo is dead is something that was actually revealed now rather than later because people had caught on to it, which I find kind of impressive. In hindsight, it might be easier to see. In fact, there are some really obvious moments when you revisit some of the older stuff, but and that's and of course he's been dead the whole time. That is an overall truth of the novel that was something that was possible to figure out and has some pretty deep implications into the whole thing. So things like that, general truths like what is each person trying to do, what are the motivations, who are they like aligned with, things like that. I think that is really cool to figure out, and that's the sort of stuff that I think that's the thing that most people in chat would really care about for you to think about only. And then if it's all wrong, that's awesome because basically no one figured out anything until way later.
What's Bea saying? Episodes are very confusing with many red herrings. The best place to think about Umineko's mystery is now. Oh man.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of people saying think about it now because later it a lot of things happen and it gets a little bit
yeah
different.
And those are supposed to be answer arcs, right?
Actually, this is something that I haven't mentioned, but I've been meaning to. That's more of a community idea thing, community concept thing. It actually comes from Higurashi, where it was more explicitly like that. They're not called that officially.
Yeah, it was
maybe
mentioned,
the
yeah.
Japanese fan base does talk about like that. I don't really know, but in truth, it's not really like that. If you're expecting like actual concrete answers, then for some things you
No,
might
more
not be
like
super satisfied about.
more like taking a direction towards actually untangling things as opposed to adding onto the pile of questions that we've been building up so far,
Right.
right? So mostly building towards some sort of, maybe not, okay, now we sit down and this is the answer, but like kind of
Yeah.
creating a framework for you to mostly focus on finding the answers rather than just piling things onto your plate and you're like, okay, what do I do with all of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely there are steps in that the direction, but I think that's part of why some people are saying to start now or do the bulk of it now, because that in itself is a bit of a reveal kind of thing. Like how should this be approached is already an answer in itself, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But do what you want as
Yeah,
long
of
as you
course.
like it. That's what we want.
Right. Right. So if I understand you right, what you're suggesting is just to focus more on like overarching kind of things rather than focusing on minute details.
Yeah,
Kind of
definitely.
like to not get too stuck not seeing the forest because of the trees, something like that.
Definitely. Yeah. Although obviously, if you were to really dig deep into everything, that would probably make the overall things easier. But at this point, for example, one of the things that could be done is okay. So Kinzo is dead. Obviously, you've questioned, for example, the Natsuhi scene and others, and you've mentioned that it's hard to figure out exactly what to do with those scenes because okay, so the way that we thought about them can't be that way, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a certain other way, So it is difficult, it is murky to figure out exactly what to do with them, but if you focus on that and maybe try to take the simplest explanations to those things, maybe
Occam's razor.
something
Yeah.
will
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Maybe something will surface and give a more general idea, kind of untangle the thing, because right now it seems very unapproachable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
daunting.
Yeah, where even to start? And I think this is a good one. Kinzo is dead. Okay, that's for sure.
Yeah. At least there's that. Because I feel like this episode didn't necessarily reveal it, but it confirmed it. I feel like if it hadn't confirmed it this clearly, I would have had to, thinking about it, would have had to explore two directions. Kinzo is dead or Kinzo is alive, right? So there's like two branching directions in the decision tree, let's say. And then from each I have to then like consider other things, and then okay, this could be this and this could be that, and again like more pathways open, and it's quite overwhelming to hold all of that in your mind and try to figure out where everything falls in, right? So having a confirmation like this, while it does throw me off, at the same time it also simplifies things.
Yeah, for sure. And this is, but and you know, okay, you're thinking, you would have to keep those two possibilities in mind at the same time, if what you're trying to do is exhaust all possibilities.
Yeah.
But then that's not necessarily what you want to do. I think it's more simple to pick what do you think is better, what makes more sense. Pick that one, go through the implications, and that's your theory if you like it at the end, and then see about it.
Yeah. That's my problem, that I want to explore everything to make sure that I pick the right one if I am to do it that way. Yeah. So I guess that's why I find it so unapproachable, and I also don't want to dive into it because it feels like, okay, now I'm doing homework.
Yeah,
I don't want to do homework.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's what it's good that you feel like that, because you were aligned with Butler. He at the beginning was also not enough info. I don't know. Could be anything. Method X.
Trap X. Person X.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Small bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like no pressure really. It's just
that would be like small bombs. Such a meme. Trap X makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then regarding things you don't remember, our job as people that know everything, because we've seen it too many times at this point, way too many times. Any questions like, did this ever happen? Or when did this happen? You can ask and people will instantly tell you.
Okay.
And shower you with all the information. Beatrice giving you all the red truth and everything.
Yes.
We are definitely dedicated.
I definitely read those. So if there's a piece of homework I did that. That doesn't mean it's clarified anything.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, even by now, you probably don't even remember the context. So.
Yeah, more or less.
But yeah, that's basically, this is it for now, or at least I don't want to take 3 hours talking about this.
No worries. No, it's lovely that you wanted to do it. I appreciate it.
Well, that's great. I've seen this sort of dynamic in some playthroughs with someone that has read through it and someone that hasn't, and I found it interesting. I mean, I found it interesting for reasons I can't actually talk about, but whatever. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's, I think it works pretty well, because I can say some things and people know what I'm talking about, but you don't, and that's fun in itself.
You'll have like this kind of inside jokes that I'm not privy to.
Yeah,
and I can tell. Or you straight up write in code, which is like, okay.
I'll speak in Rot 13 somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but just to frame things a little bit, in terms of the things that there are to think about, I think the big two are the normal story we've been seeing so far, at least in episodes 1 and 2, and vast majority of 3. That's one thing. And then the Angie stuff, because those are pretty different things, of course. Connected, it's the same novel, right? But those are pretty different sort of things to explore. And if you found Angie's more interesting, which I totally get, I was super into the future segment.
Yeah, me too.
When I read through this. then that's cool to think about. So, for example, what do you think about her journey, the information she got? Like, what do you think is going on?
See, this is also something that I'm not sure how to place, because I feel like everything about her that we've seen in the future is based on the aftermath of episode 3.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So that's just one of the variants of the stories that we've seen. It's all based on Eva surviving. It has nothing to do with the rest. So what implication does that have? And I don't know. It's just there's questions like, am I supposed to believe that there's one actual aftermath that is the reality, and the rest like just alternatives cooked up by whoever pretended to be Beatrice and wrote them down or whatever? And then what? NJ is just a figment of someone's imagination? No, I feel like that's not quite right. But yet, how do I place it in the framework of everything? And all of the questions that have been raised together with her story about what is magic, and the thing that she saw, whatever that was, again, what? Yeah, basically all of my answers just boil to I don't know, and I feel it's very boring and disappointing to people. Sorry.
That one, the thing she saw is something that stuck with me for so long, and then when I figured out, it's like, oh, no, it's not. It's really not. I don't think at the end of the day it's really a core sort of thing that is extremely important, but people like to meme about it because what did she see? What the hell did she
when
see?
something is like just when you're told that it's there, but you're not told exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it's hidden away and like not mentioned at all. It's like, okay, that must have been something big. I need to know. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things I could say about that, but of course I cannot. Yeah, no. I mean, that one. I don't think you will. I don't think it's worth it.
Okay.
But if you're interested, but then where do you start? You have no idea. So, so I also had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest. You said. Yeah, you were considering it to be a continuation of the epilogue of episode 3, but then it continues on to 4, right? And there's some relation between. There's like an NG in the meta of the game board of 4, but then also the NG in the future of the normal world. It is weird, right? If it is true, though, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but it is at least an interesting idea to think about the different versions of the story. Do you remember her conversation with the professor, Utsuki, or whatever his name is?
The guy she was talking to about the grimoire not about, about the writing to authenticate it was the same writing of
Yeah.
I remember parts of it. I don't know if I remember exactly what you're referring to.
Well, what was she comparing the handwriting of?
The message in the bottles things that were recovered.
Right.
Yeah.
What are these?
Yeah.
What are the message in the bottles? What is that?
Great question.
They were first mentioned in the end scroll sequence in episode 1. Yeah. What is that?
They seem to be tellings of these game board things.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So someone sat down to write them. Someone concocted them.
Supposedly, or signed Maria, but then actually
in the writing
not.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Yeah. It's definitely interesting.
Genie in a bottle. Yeah.
It might relate to some things. I don't know how much I should. Yeah,
it's okay. No, I don't feel like.
I don't want chat to absolutely kill me. But yeah, no, that's. But okay, You said, yeah. You said you don't know exactly how to take it. And of course, you don't know because you don't know the answers. But if you had to take it in a way, what would probably be that way?
You're referring strictly to these messages? Or
Yeah, and the
just
thing you're talking about of Angie's future. How do you think ultimately is the most interesting way to take it? I suppose that's the question
the most interesting way to take it?
for you,
I mean,
because ultimately that's what you should go with.
hmm. You mean to just tie everything in a way that has like a beginning and an end, and kind of the story flows in between with all of the elements that were thrown at us kind of strung together? Is that what you're asking?
I would love to ask that. That's probably too holistic a question. I mean specifically the NG future segment. You said, is it a continuation of episode 3 specifically, or is it something else?
Well, that's what it makes you think of, because
Yeah.
there's a Neva that survives, and
Yeah.
Eva survived at the end of episode 3, right? So that, since it comes right on the back of that, that's kind of what it makes you connect in your mind. But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just like Bea was saying earlier, that the word I'm looking for is a fragment, right? The fragment of reality where things happened in a certain way, right? So we have so many versions of what could have happened on Rokkenjima. And this is one of them, I guess. And in this reality, Eva survived and the things happened. Maybe it's not the exact same one as episode 3,
Yeah.
and it's just made to throw us off. And then we have this this shapes Enja's life in a fundamental way, that she gets to this point, yeah. And she has that grimoire of Maria's that was, I forget how she got it. See, these details. She got it because after the investigation, it was discovered, and she
like
got it, something like that. Yeah, okay. So
Potentially.
she probably was very connected to whatever was written in there, because it's like her one grasp and one straw to cling on to that connects her to her family and what was lost in the past. Right, so we have already seen her like going through these pages and kind of like creating her own reality within those pages, because her own reality, she's like escaping from it, and it's too grim, too dark, filled with too much trauma and pain and stuff. Right, so she kind of, like, from a perspective of explaining the magical bits of it, it would be this, that it's all happening within her, and it's like she's reliving this, and she's like tying things from the past, from her relationship with Maria, and like how she hurt her, and then it reflects again in what happens with the stakes, right? It's kind of like I think I not explained, but I mentioned that I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's a reliving, a reimagining of things that actually happened, like when she hurt Maria when she was little, and then with this other part that we view when she is a bit older and going through this, I don't know, her imagination sprung universe from these pages that she is escaping to. Right, so those could be tied in that way. But as to what happens after she gets to the point where, again, she wants to commit suicide. Yeah, she is very hurt there. And what we see is that Byrne saves her and gives her this alternative thing to do. I guess I could explain it as something within her surfacing in that moment and telling her not to give up on it, and try to, at the very least, make peace with what's happened to her. So that springs her into action to go to Rokkenjima and like all of the stuff that she did. But then I don't know exactly, like, because it all stops with that scene of her and her Kiria's sister. I forgot her name. that lady that I really don't
Kazumi,
like.
I think.
Yeah, Kazumi. Right. It all stops with that scene, which is her finally wielding her magic. But I guess it could be explained by, like, in real life with human terms.
Yeah.
The whole killing could be explained by Amakusa just hiding in a bush and just using the weapons that we have been shown earlier.
Sure, yeah.
You know, putting holes into everyone. And there's something very interesting that I noticed in those descriptions, that it's not described that an arrow pierced through them. It's just described that they have holes through them, which is incredibly gruesome given the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's an interesting choice of description. It's also almost in tune with the way the murders happen in this episode, that sure, they describe golden things flying around, but at the end of the day, they die with holes or with their heads crushed,
Yep.
right? So those could be explained that way. And the magical part is just, again, something like an internal universe of Enges kind of thing happening. But then that ends there, and Enges still dies in 1998.
Yeah, she
so
does die.
What the fuck does that mean? Did she just die when she tried to commit suicide, and like this was just like, I don't know, a figment of her imagination? Did this happen and then she actually decided to die on Rokkenjima like she had at some point maybe thought to do? Did she completely forsake the whole I'm gonna, do something, reconnect with this and maybe even move on kind of thing that she seemed to have, that kind of vibe as she was approaching the island and she was talking with Amakusa? So I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I also don't know how much stupidity I might have just spouted right now, but yeah.
No, I mean, I know and chat knows.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, it's exactly that sort of thought. That might all be wrong, but that makes sense. So it's cool. We like to hear that, yeah. Exactly.
In a way,
exactly
I feel like
that.
it would tie together in my mind. It's basically, I guess, one of the only threads that I can feel like I can manage to tie together with an explanation. But again, it's what I mentioned earlier. This is something that I'm concocting. I have no idea if it's the actual thing that the author had in mind.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, which is, ultimately that is what we're looking for, right? What did he have in mind? Is that how you're thinking of it? What did he have in mind? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
When I'm in this mode of thinking how it would tie together, I'm not actually thinking that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I'm really thinking how it would make sense to me. But I also have this annoying feeling that I am not getting what the magic is. Like, I might be coming up with something that is like particular to myself. And if I get too fixated in that, if I go too much into concocting my own thing, then I might actually miss what the author is trying to show me that he had in mind.
Yeah, there's definitely things that he does have specific ideas in mind, but he also usually does the usual like writer cop-out thing of when there's something open, it's like, oh, it's whatever you want. He does do that as well a bit. So sometimes it's fine. Yeah, so just, what just headcanon everything. It's fine. As long as it makes sense and it's cool, then it's awesome. Maybe one last thing, because I also don't have all the time in the world. But still about the like outside of game world, what is the deal with no one having any idea what happened? How is that possible?
Yeah, and also in this whole injury thing, he was always mentioned. Oh, the incident.
Incident, yeah.
Everyone just disappeared. There's no bodies. Okay.
Yeah, or rather, there are no identified bodies.
Yes,
which is
like
slightly different.
Yeah. Oh my god, man. Yeah, I was stumped by this the whole episode. Like, how can someone come out of this situation that is so weird and murky and ended up with, at the very minimum, the disappearance of so many people, but there is nothing to question them, convict them, do anything. It's not clear to me how Eva just skated away free. And
something happened such that
but something that doesn't leave a trace. Like they scoured the island and they didn't find anything.
They didn't even find evidence that it was a crime, even.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, but then here I would have to have some creativity to come up with ways in which people can be killed and hidden, which I don't think I have, and I also don't think it's a bad thing that I don't have that.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah, because it's not about... It's everything. There's no trace of anything. There's not evidence that things were hidden. There's no evidence.
Yeah, except the message in the bottles.
Yeah. Well, multiple of them, right? 2, he says, I think.
I don't remember the exact number, to be honest.
He mentioned there was, there was 2. One was found by a fisherman, and then the other was actually had been found before by the police, but they had kept it under wraps, and then when that one surfaced, then they resurfaced that one. I think that's how it goes, roughly.
All right. Yeah, now that you say it, it sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're completely different. Yeah.
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 Very mysterious, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, you say you would have to have some creativity. Yeah, this is one of the things that this is related to what I messaged you about. It could be anything. Like, okay, let's think of a million things that could result in such a way. But maybe there are some options that have some greater impact on the whole thing, right? Maybe there are some options that are like, oh, if this is the answer to this, then that reframes everything, you know?
Kind of like if Kinzo has been dead all along, everything is just Yeah.
If the solution to Kinzo escaping his study with the receipt stuck in the door is actually he wasn't there the whole time because he's dead, that's huge.
Yeah, it's the kind of like breaking through the framework that you feel has been laid out for that mystery and thinking completely outside of it.
Yeah, although if I don't know if you have this impression that Kinzo being dead was actually very well foreshadowed and hinted at. Do you have that perception, or
no?
Do you think it? Oh, right. Oh, okay. That's fine. Having reread a million times, I can say, oh my god, how did I ever think he was alive?
Yeah, but this is the what hindsight gives you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and since everyone in chat knows, I think it's this thing that I could draw a parallel to when you try to teach someone something that you've known a long time. It's hard for you to like mold your mind on the mind of someone who has never heard about it before. Yeah. So you having hindsight, as much as you try to put yourself in my shoes, who's experiencing all of this for the first time, not just Umineko itself, but like just the mystery genre in general. I have not been exposed to it at all. My only experience has been that I read and then there were none while I was reading Umineko, you know? So that's like my one piece of like, I did some homework on that.
Yeah.
It's quite overwhelming. And like I said, details don't stick if you don't have anything else to tied them to, and I feel like I just have a pool of puzzle pieces that don't connect to anything. So I'm just like left with all of them in my hand. Some of them are falling down along the way because I keep forgetting about them, and so I don't really have the same tools in my arsenal to put it all together as you do. And as much as you try to put yourselves in my shoes, you can't quite get there because you still have the hindsight. You can like completely make yourselves blind or like erase it from your minds.
And it's a bit of genre savviness as well. So, for example, Kinzo is always burnt. When he's found dead, he's burnt.
Yeah, he's burnt. Yeah, and the toes.
Consistently, right?
The toes are the.
Yeah. The toes are interesting, right? Because one of the reasons why someone would burn someone that they have killed is to hide their identity, to pretend that they're someone else. That's one of the options.
Yeah, but because you can't.
Yeah. Now we know that it can,
so
right?
The option is that it's hiding something else, not the identity.
Yeah, in this case, it's something else, which I think you understand at this
I understand
point,
now,
but I still don't want to say it. just in case. Yeah, it's this time it was the time of death. That's what it was, which is the only other realistic option, really. There is really only these two, and that's kind of the mind space you need to exist in. Okay, why does this happen specifically like this? Why is this something that is consistent? Yeah. So okay, and yeah, you said that you think you need to be creative. I think for most of the questions, for most of the mysteries, it's less being creative and finding an original idea and tying it back. It's paying attention and going from the ground up, taking everything that is there and building into something. Right. Because otherwise it could be anything.
Yeah, that's my problem. It just could be anything. Yeah, the red truth's supposed to help me, but I feel like it's not. Although there was something very interesting that happened last stream regarding this red truth, because when Eva teaches web of red truth, whatever it was called, hits you, it's just like it feels like it's cornering you and like tying everything away, and it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? Everyone is dead, everyone is not guilty, but then someone has to be guilty. What do I do with this? And then last time one thing that was mentioned was that, okay, you're stating that they're dead, but the time at which you're stating this is not the time when the murders happened, right? So you have to also put it in that sort of dimension, right? Instead of like thinking everything is like flat and all concurrent, it's like spread out. So then you can intervene with other possible things there.
Yeah. Although apparently Battler was wrong about everything. So.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying that the conclusion that Battler came to was correct. I'm just saying that it still pointed out to a few things that are caveats of this like unbreakable red truth. And I still think that it's the impression that I've come to form of it is that it's kind of like a magic trick in the sense of like it's making you look at something while the trick is happening without you noticing. So when it's really pointing something and rubbing it in your face, it's like, okay, sure, fine, I can accept that this person was dead, or this person didn't die by suicide, or whatever the thing is stating. But then I don't have to focus on this. I should think of something else.
For sure.
That is coming maybe in connection to it or in parallel to it, that this red truth is trying to kind of like sneakily make me not think of.
And and sometimes the misdirection is just a deeply emotional scene that is it's misdirection in both that it confuses your mental state, and also you can't see through your tears. You can't breathe very well through your tears.
Yeah, it's kind of like in a meta level, this like taking advantage of the emotions that Burn and Lambda were actually mentioning this stream, that it's the weak point, we gotta attack it. Yeah.
I mean, because at this point, like with the Kinzo thing, okay, someone is being mischievous among these characters that we love. Someone, at the end of the day, that has to be the case, right?
Yes, at the end of the day, it has to be someone. As much as we care about them and we learned to see them all with love, at some point we gotta point at them and be like, you could have done this. It's hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So okay.
Thank you for this.
I don't want to waste your time.
No, it's not a waste of time. This is quite soothing and healing for my heart, to be honest. because I feel
Yeah,
very
yeah.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes chat acts like, or makes it seem like you should be catching on to more than you are. I think that it's not true. You're catching on to you're catching on to things that some people didn't. You're not catching up to things that other people did, because everyone reads differently and everyone comes from a different point. I've much enjoyed your perspective on the issues that have been discussed on stream, like with Rosa. 5 million times we've talked about Rosa.
Oh yeah.
And I and it was fortunate for me because I like her situation and I like discussing it. It was fortunate to me that we managed to have all those discussions early on, because then in episode 4 it becomes a little bit harder to defend her. So I'm glad that we took a little bit her side in some ways at the beginning. So then it
I mean,
was fun for
those
her
sides
too.
still stand. It's
Of
just
course,
they
of
end
course.
up not serving as a justification for what's happening.
Of course,
And,
and they never did, because
Yes.
we're dealing with We don't need to talk about Rosa again.
No,
Sorry,
no,
chat.
no.
But yeah,
Oh, Zeku, you're so sweet.
I personally, I mean, I've dropped some playthroughs of this because I wasn't enjoying how the person was engaging with it. I mean, some people are really not interested at all. It's weird that they keep going because they don't demonstrate any joy out of it. And in those cases, I usually drop. It's not an interesting one. Some I've kept watching because they're really interested in the mystery and they're really skilled and they're thinking very well.
That must
And
be
then
very cool to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, wow, man, are you looking stuff up in between videos or something? No. And then you probably so far the best when it comes to this, with the vibing with the emotional side and having a great perspective on everyone's feelings and their dynamics and how it's all very complicated emotionally and there's no black and white. That's a big theme of it. So
I really enjoy that.
I'm
so,
enjoying that. Yeah.
It's the one thing that I look for, actually, and that's why I even started doing these visual novels on stream, and it's the one thing that comes out of me so naturally. So of course, when you throw at me the story with all of these juicy characters and their circumstances, I'm gonna be like all over it.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
then when the murders and the mystery happens, I'm
Yeah.
more subdued and kind of not providing an equal amount of, I don't know, hype or stuff, because it's just not my lane. Yeah.
Whereas for me, I was more of the, damn, this proposal scene is taking too long. kinda reader.
All right. I don't know. I'm a sucker for cheesy things, to be honest.
Yeah.
To me, it was.
I mean,
I love it.
I've come around.
Yeah.
Because this is a special story. But yeah. All right.
Yeah. This was very cool. Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I think chat didn't mind it too much either. So
No, I think chat is having a blast.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
I shall
take
go
care.
now, and you can do whatever you want. Okay, bye.
Yeah, we will wrap up. Take care. Have a
Yeah,
good
bye.
evening. Bye. All right. How nice was that? I probably missed quite a bit. I read a few things in between the lines, but I wanted to just focus on the conversation and not derail it too much with chat. I hope that was cool. It just was an impromptu thing that Bancho typed to me shortly before stream, and he offered to do this. I was like, yeah, sure, of course. Very cool of you. Thank you so much. We can obviously always have such chats in Discord directly if there's ever an appetite for it. I'm fine. I just, the things that I can provide are maybe not that fantastic, again, from the mystery point of view, but we can always debate things. And yeah, I loved it. I could do more of it in the future. It was very nice. Yeah, absolutely lovely. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know if it's if I should catch up on anything that was said during chat while our chat was going on. I feel like we would be here for a longer time if we did that. So I hope that's okay. If there's further things to address, then that's all right. We can do it over Discord, or you can just mention them next time, and we will. For tonight, this was cherry on top of the cake, and it's above and beyond anything that I could have provided alone as a chat at the end of this episode. So yeah, not good night just yet, because I also want to mention what is happening next stream, which will be on schedule Tuesday. But as Bea mentioned in Discord, there is a chance now to read some of the Tsubasa stories, and I have things set up to do that, but I don't want to do it in the usual format, to leave, do it on Twitch and leave a VOD behind on YouTube and stuff, for reasons that have already been explained in the Discord if you are there. And instead, I think what I will do about it is, on the same usual schedule, I will stream it in Discord instead. So I haven't actually done it before. I will check all of the technicalities of it this weekend and get it ready for that. Yes. So yeah, we're gonna do a few stories there next time. I'm gonna try to fit them all in one session so we don't like break it apart and stuff. Actually, maybe we could aim to start a bit earlier so we have a bit more time, because the stories themselves are more or less the usual slot of the stream approximated, but then of course we might want to stop and chat and whatever. Of course, since it's in Discord, you can always just jump into voice and not have to type everything out, and that would be cool and an interesting experience. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I will announce it in the Discord this weekend in more clear terms. Let's maybe try half an hour earlier than the slot, and then we go also until the usual end. Let's say we'll try to fit it in however much. All right. So if there's also a need for people who are not in Discord who want to join, let me share an invite link just to have it there. Invite people. There we go. Right. Okay, let's make it 7 days, right? Let's have it, it sounds like a terrible idea. Come on, I trust you guys. Initially I thought not to, but I can make a recording of it, try to set up a special overlay in OBS and just record on the side. And obviously check that all of the sound is coming through and so on, and just have it somewhere more or less privately put and then shared with you if you want to check it out. But I don't want to have it uploaded. Yeah. So that's the issue of it. That's why I want to do it in this format. Yeah. I think it's worth a try. I think you are super cool people, and I really love the earlier chats, so why not? What can go so wrong? It's just one stream. Anyone who joins in call could potentially make a recording of it. Okay, sure, but I won't be uploading it to my own channel, so yeah. That's the point of it. Yeah. So yeah, we will be doing that next Tuesday. And then we start episode 5 Thursday next week. You mean, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I will also try. I will figure out the technicalities of it this weekend. I promise I will sit down and see what to do. So for the moment, I will just I will take it out of the Twitch schedule because it won't be happening on Twitch, so that it's maybe a reminder that, yeah, just this time, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we will jump into that next Thursday. We'll see how that goes. All right, so that was the last thing to note before wrapping up. So much for having a short stream, but that's all right. It was worth it. I enjoyed it. My soul is soothed and healed. Yeah. Very cool. No, it's okay. You revived the short stream. You revived the stream, generally speaking. It was probably a drag, just me talking. That was a lot more interesting. So, all good. Yep. For now, it will be good night time, and also wish you a great weekend time. Take care of yourselves. We chat in Discord if there's anything else to clarify regarding how things will go. I guess I will see you there next Tuesday. And as per usual on Thursday with the new episode. Until then, take care. Love you all. This has been amazing. You are amazing. I appreciate you. I will not get tired of saying that because I do. I feel incredibly blessed and lucky to get to experience this together with you. Yep. So thanks again. Take care. Night night. And see you next time.